Recording in progress.
Recording is in progress now. Chuy, Mr. Ramirez, do you accept recording the class for Gabo?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. Let me share the screen here because I don't know when Gabo is coming. If Gabo is not coming, well, this is a way to recover his class. But remember that you have a class on Friday if you want. Okay? So here we are. We start here. Tell me, as usual, tell me, what is the day today?
Today
Chuy.
is Monday,
Monday?
February 14th,
February 14th.
2022.
Congratulations for the ones who are in love. Okay. Now, you told me that you are married, aren't you? No? You're not married.
No,
Or do you have
I
a
no,
girlfriend? No girlfriend?
no,
No, no girlfriend. Okay, well, no problem. No problem. Your girlfriend. How old are you? 25, 26, 27? What is your age?
26.
26? I suppose that
Yes.
you were 27. Huh? But you are 26. You are too young to die. You are too young to die. Well, when I was 25, I got married and I died. I killed myself. I killed myself. Now, you're gonna listen to a story of a third culture kid. A third culture kid. Look at this is a third culture kid. And you're gonna listen to the story and you're going to scan the article. What is the third culture kid? Do you know anyone who moved to another country? Do you know anyone who moved to another country?
Yes,
Who is it? Tell me.
me.
You moved to another country. Of course. You are the kind of guy that this is this is the kind of example you have because you are your own example. You went to Phoenix, Arizona, no? Or no, where did you go? Where did you go?
Phoenix, Arizona.
Did you go did you go to the United States? To El Paso?
No,
Where did you go? Did you ever
uh,
go to another place?
Mexico,
Mexico.
Ciudad de
But
México.
Ciudad de Mexico. Okay, Ciudad de Mexico. But didn't you travel abroad? Abroad, I mean out of your country?
No,
No. But let me tell you, I know a cultured kid because I am not a kid anymore, even though that I emigrated. But Gabo is a kind of cultured kid,
mm,
you know, because he comes from
yes.
Venezuela, okay? And there
Okay, okay.
are many Venezuelan people who are cultured kids because they are moving here and there. We have many people from Venezuela all around the world. By the way, I have two brothers in Santiago de Chile, and I have one brother in Tenerife, España, Spain, right? And I have a daughter who lives in Quebec, Canada. And my two, no, two of my grandchildren were born in Quebec.
Wait.
So these are going to be third culture kids, third culture kids, because they come from another region that is called the third world. And they are traveling to a first world. What is the first world? Canada, right?
USA.
An advanced country. And probably Chile, even though Chile, oh my goodness, Chile is probably going to become ah, similar to Venezuela. If that guy who has already won there the presidency of Chile starts making the same mistakes that Mr. Chavez did in Venezuela or Mr. Maduro is doing right now. This is one of the reasons why people emigrate. Okay, now I want you to observe this. Pay attention. We know a culture kid, a third culture kid is Gabo. Gabriel is one.
No.
Okay? Now, and there are many, many, not only Venezuelan, but people from Mexico who live in the United States, or people who from Mexico who live in Canada, and they are like the kind of third culture kids. Listen to his story and pay attention, okay? Pay attention to what the third culture kid is. What it is. What is it? Listen to this. Let me check it out if I can. Clicking here and pay attention to this. You tell me if you are able.
Reading.
Okay, pay
The
attention to this, okay?
Kid.
Tommy was born in Colombo, the largest city in the island country of Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka.
The streets of Colombo were busy, and Tommy loved the colors, sights, and smells. He played on sandy beaches with his friends. He spoke Sinhalese with his friends and family, and learned English at school. He loved visiting the neighborhood markets with his family to buy fresh fruits and vegetables. Typical Sri Lankan dishes made with coconuts and rice were some of his favorite foods. When he was 6,
Okay, did you know where Sri Lanka is?
No. Oh,
It's
no.
an island, and it's probably in the Pacific Ocean, right? In the Pacific Ocean, next to India. Probably Sri Lanka is an island which is next to India. Probably here is India, right? But you have to search in a map where exactly it is. But Sri Lanka used to be a poor country, right? Poor country. And this is a story of a poor young man who went to the United States. Pay attention to this, okay? Listen to the narration of his story, which is here.
Tommy moved with his parents to a small town near New York City.
Okay, observe. When he was 6 years old, Tommy moved with his parents to New York City. His parents both had new jobs there. Pay attention.
Parents both had new jobs there. For Tommy, life in his new town was a big surprise. Everything was different. The streets were quieter and less colorful. The grocery stores sold so many different types of fruits, vegetables, cheeses, and cereals. There were so many restaurants in his new town. He tried Italian food, Chinese food, Greek food, and Mexican food. The weather was different too. Tommy saw snow for the very first time.
Okay, Tommy saw snow. You know, he had never seen snow for the very first time because Sri Lanka, I guess, is a tropical country, which is in the medium, you know, in the hemisphere, in the medium. So it's like Venezuela. In Venezuela, only snows on Bolivar Peak, only on the peak, but that's all. But I had never seen snow. But when I was an 11 or 12-year-old boy, that my parents took me to Bolivar Peak. But this guy had never seen snow. Snow was new for him. He saw snow for the first time when he moved to New York, okay, in New York City, okay. Now pay attention to the next step of his narration. Pay attention. Listen to him.
Looking back, Tommy remembers learning that the culture in the United States was different from the culture in Sri Lanka. Not better, not worse, just different. Tommy learned new things every day. He learned Spanish in school. He also learned ways that people in the U.S. communicate with each other. Tommy remembers everyone saying, "How are you doing?" But it wasn't a question. It was like saying hi.
It was like saying, hi, hello, how are you doing? How is it going? Okay? These are different kinds of saying hello. Okay? Different forms. Okay, now, are there anything, pay attention. If there are any words that you do not understand, you're going to tell me. But now, Pay attention to his narration.
Tommy was a third culture kid. That means he was raised in a different country than his parents. Many third culture kids believe that they are lucky. They know and understand more than one culture, and they often speak more than one language. Tommy went to college in Los Angeles and studied languages. Now he works for a big charity that helps children around the world get a good education.
Okay? Now, pay attention to the rest of his narration. And you're going to tell me if there is any problem in vocabulary.
Sometimes it's hard to learn a whole new way of life, but Tommy says it's the best thing that ever happened. He calls Sri Lanka home, and the U.S. home too.
Okay, you see that he was so young when he arrived in the United States that he considers Sri Lanka his home, and the U.S. his home too. Okay? So this is what we call these are like my grandchildren, because I'm gonna have a grandchild who's gonna be born here in Mexico. And she's here, my granddaughter. She lives with me, but this is the first Mexican granddaughter I'm going to have, and she's gonna be like this guy, a person whose parents come from another culture, from another region, from another place, but they grow up and they develop their life in a different place, probably with a different language. No, not in this case, because in Mexico everybody speaks Spanish, but the culture is a little bit different, So the culture changes, even though a little bit, okay? Now, could you please tell me if you see any particular word that you do not understand in the first paragraph? Sinhalese is the language which is spoken in Sri Lanka. Sinhalese is the language originally spoken in Sri Lanka. Okay?
What is sights?
When you say sights
Yes.
is what you can see in your native country. For example, the site of Los Cabos, because I saw photographs, is spectacular. The site right there in Cancun, in the beaches, is wonderful, is unbelievable. Sights is what you can see with your eyes, the views. You understand what the views are?
Yes.
Beautiful views, not only of beaches, but of any different colors. You say, when Tommy is talking about this sights, Tommy loved the colors, sights, and smells. You understand smells?
Yeah.
What you can you can get through your nose is a smell. Okay? He played this on sandy beaches with friends. Okay? So it's in here. The sights of his country, originally in Sri Lanka, were taken in his head. Okay?
Okay.
You understand the sight refers to what you can see. Okay? Now tell me, are there any other particular words you don't understand here? You understand what coconuts are, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Colombo is the capital city in Sri Lanka. Okay, Colombo, the capital city. And it's a country similar to India, because the language is kind of similar. Sinhalese. I'm going to search it out if it is exactly or similar, but I think it is similar to Hindi, the language which is spoken in India. Okay. Now tell me, any other words here?
No.
No? Okay, how about the second paragraph? By the way, I'm not exactly from India, but look at his face. Okay? Now, can you read or can you see if there is any particular word here that you do not understand?
Um,
It's okay?
quiet, quieter,
Okay, when
quiet.
you say quieter means that there are it's like silent. Okay? Silent.
Okay,
When people are quieter, it means that people are do not make so much noise. In his country, in his native countries, the streets were quieter and less colorful. Quiet means silent. You understand?
okay,
Probably
yes,
silent. Then if you go to New York City, you find the noise of the cars and the motorbikes and the noise of the machines or the noise of the construction. And this was new for him. The streets were quieter and less colorful than they were in this native town, right? Silent.
okay,
Okay, because in this country probably people crowd, I mean, we're living in a crowd and many people make so much noise, and probably the colorful of the grocery stores, or you know, of the fruits and different vegetables and cheeses make the difference. Okay, now you understand quieter, more silent, more silent. Okay, calm, calmer, calmer. Probably
yes, I
people in New
understand.
York are calmer than people in Sri Lanka. People in Sri Lanka are moving here and there, you know, and they are crowded and a lot of noise. Okay, not in New York. Hmm? The streets were quieter than in Sri Lanka. Okay, what do you say? Another thing that you didn't understanding here?
No,
No, it's okay.
it's
Let's go
okay.
to the next paragraph. If you see anything that you don't understand, you tell me, please. What is it?
Mm, it's okay.
It's okay. You understand better or worse? Not worse,
Yes,
but different. When you say different, it means different. Not better, not worse.
better is
The
good and
comparison,
worse is bad.
good and bad, good and bad, better and worse. For good is better, for bad is worse.
Is worse.
And it doesn't mean that you are comparing two cultures, one culture in Sri Lanka and another culture in Venezuela and another culture here in Mexico and another culture right there in New York. No, they are
Just
just
different.
different. That's the idea, different. Okay? No problem here?
No problem, teacher.
No problem. Okay, so let's go to this paragraph over here. You see anything that you don't understand in here?
Mm, it's okay.
It's okay. No problem about
No
this?
problem.
Okay, good. Now you understand how different it was, okay? Because he studied at the college. He went to college in Los Angeles. Originally, he came from a town, okay, in Los Angeles. And my goodness, to live in New York City and to study in a college in Los Angeles, there is a big change, huh? Of the third culture kid, huh?
Okay.
Okay, now let's go to the last one. Do you understand it all? You understand a whole new way? It's get complete. Whole is complete. Okay?
Complete.
Complete. When you say complete, it's whole. The whole way. The whole new way. Sometimes it's hard to learn the whole new way of life because
Okay.
everything changes. Many things are changing. Everything is changing in your world, inside you. Okay, now this is the idea of a third culture kid. A third culture kid. A kid mm, who has probably new languages, not only one, but two, probably three languages, okay? Like my grandchildren who speak Spanish, and they are able to speak French, and they are studying at school English, and they are only 6 years old. 6 years old. Huh? And this is ridiculous. I have Sebastian. Sebastian is 6 years old. Sebastian is six, huh? Sebastian is 6 years old. 6 years old. And he knows Spanish. He knows how to speak French. And he's learning English. How is it possible? He's the kind of kid like this one. Okay, a different culture from Venezuela to another world, which is Canada. He had never seen, I mean, in Venezuela, he had never visited Venezuela. He's nature originally from Quebec, from Canada, because he was born there. But his parents are from Venezuela. My daughter and my son-in-law come from Venezuela. You understand the difference? Okay, now
Yes.
here you have, after reading the article, you're gonna check true or false according to what you read. Can you read number one, please, and tell me if that's true for you or that's false for you?
Tommy lived in Sri Lanka most of his life.
What did you say? True or false?
I think it's false.
It's false, definitely. And when you say lived, repeat it after me, please. Lived.
Live,
Okay, in the past tense, Tommy lived in Sri Lanka.
live,
Tommy lived in Sri Lanka most of his life. That's false. It's false. Tommy lived in Sri Lanka most of his life is not correct. Okay, Gabriel is coming right now. So I am going to stop recording this class so that I'm not going to, but send him a little. I'm gonna stop recording this class